with the biggest myth about magic. It's a bad thing. So when somebody says that magic is a bad thing, and if you ask them to elaborate, what they will say is that it's not done by people who believe in a higher power, in a god or goddess, or anything that's good, right? So in such a case, what the truth is, and I'd like to clear the slate once and for all, is that when somebody says that magic is bad, please understand that magic is an art, a science of pure advanced logic, where the person is given what they want. The only difference is when a person is being harmed and when a person is not being harmed. So magic per se is not bad, but the intention can be wrong. That's the first myth. The second myth is it's not something that relies on faith and belief. I hear a lot of people who say, oh my God, I don't believe. I don't have any belief or faith in magic. With all due respect, it doesn't matter. If you believe or don't believe in the sun rising in the east and setting in the west, the sun will still rise in the east and set in the west. Also, just because you don't believe in something, could it also not mean that you lack the knowledge and you're afraid to know the truth? How about that? Don't forget, there might be a family member or a dear friend who's suffering from an illness, and you look for an alternate remedy when allopathy doesn't work. What do you do then? Homeopathy is an alternate medicine. It's not the usual norm. So when you pray to your maker and you say, please help me, remind yourself that God will only help you if you help yourself. And the only way you can help yourself is when you gain knowledge instead of running away from something that you don't understand. And the third myth of magic, and I've saved the best for the last, is when you feel that anybody can do magic and you don't require practice. That is something which a lot of people expect you to buck them up with. Like, oh yeah, I also say it a lot of times, it's good to get into the occult world because it empowers you, but it's not good to be addicted. Do you require practice? Yes, absolutely. How much depends on what your abilities are, where your interest lies, how much time can you give. But is it something that everyone can do? Even I can do that. I hear people say that, even I can do that, even I can spellcast. Trust me, you can't. There are people who get into magic and get out because they bit off more than they could chew. Witchcraft used to be a taboo subject because of lack of knowledge. It is still a taboo subject because of lack of knowledge. The occult world has different kinds of ways and methods, practices which are taken up by different kinds of people. Various factors involved. When we talk about witchcraft, you see, people say witch as if it's a bad word. The doctor in a village who is not qualified and getting a degree as in you get in a society is what do you call him, an Ayurvedic doctor? Great. In some Native American villages or in backgrounds like the Amazonian basin, they are called shamans. Shaman is a witch doctor. So it depends on how you're using the term. Some of these fairy tales have witches who have pointy hats, a pointy nose, sit on a broomstick and fly over the moon. Or they go to the jungle and light huge bonfires and then cast spells. This is all created to make you feel scared and keep you away from the truth. And the truth is, the more knowledge you gain, the more the darkness will fade and the more that flickering light becomes a huge splash of a blazing torch. If you want witchcraft to be an important factor in your life and make it work to your advantage, then don't think of it as a subject. Think of it as a tool to create a reality that you like without harming anyone. So, if other people are uncomfortable that you are practicing witchcraft or spellcasting, divination, by the way, is also witchcraft. A tarot reader is also practicing witchcraft. What are you going to stop? Look around you. Everywhere you go, people are doing it either as a profession or as a hobby or as a second job, a side, or they're moonlighting. Either which ways, it's everywhere. Open any of these social media channels, you'll find it. Why is it so rampant now? Because everybody now realizes that just because you are not comfortable with talking about something or you lack information, it doesn't mean that I feel the same. So that's the reason why some people feel that it's a taboo subject, but I'm very proud of who I am, and you should be proud of what you should become. Everybody needs magic in their life. Why? Tragedies happen in seconds, and so do miracles. And magic is no short of a miracle because it alters a reality. You're living in a world where you're constantly in want of something, but you don't know how to get it. If I give you a way through which you get what you want without hurting anything or anyone else, why on earth would you not take it with both arms? So every single person walking on this earth needs magic. And the only way you can welcome magic into your life is by being confident enough to give yourself a chance and believing in yourself to deserve that chance. The drawback in practicing magic is that it becomes an addiction. I can tell you from my personal experience, I used to fall sick very often because I was constantly spellcasting. Sometimes I'd forget to sleep on time, my circadian rhythm went for a toss. I would eat on time. I stopped socializing completely. I'm not very social by nature as it is, but I stopped socializing completely because I used to get tired and I needed my rest. So it can get highly addictive, because when you are spellcasting, you're someone else doing something which is not what you are taught. You're a conduit, you're a channel. Something or someone is working through you. And when that happens, all this flow of energy, channelization, chanting, the entire aura, the entire atmosphere is charged. And once the adrenaline rushes over and the spell is done, that is when you feel completely, finished. So I think addiction is one of the biggest drawbacks of spellcasting. And the only way to overcome it is to wake up one day and say, I need my me time. I need to rest and recover, recuperate, and then get back on the horse. It's your prerogative whether you believe in magic or not. Does it make a dent in somebody else's life who wants to practice or believe in magic or become a spellcaster or go to a person to cast a spell for them? Not really. We do third-party spells all the time. In fact, 90% of our spells are third-party spells. So it doesn't really matter what message I'd like to convey, because people have preconceived notions, and the only way to remove it is by them convincing their own selves. I don't brainwash people, and I don't like it when other people convince. There's this whole game of, let me tell you, when I have an opinion, I have my point of view, and I respect your opinion and your point of view. So we are happily coexisting. So why convince you to do something that is good for you in the first place? I can take a person to a point where they believe that it's important for them to walk the path, but whether they choose to walk the path themselves or not is free will. If I were in your place, what would I have done? I was in your place. I was somebody who felt that, I'm an MBA, I'm going to get a job, everything's going to be hunky-dory, and then life happened. And I saw what happens when you lack knowledge, how your family gets taken on a trip by people because of their desperation and helplessness. And I decided to take matters in my hands because I control my life, I control my destiny, I call the shots in my life. If you have these 3 sentences in line and in place, then you don't need any message from me. But if you don't, then think twice. If you have any questions or comments, do not hesitate to leave them in the comment section below. Thank you, and see you with Rakayana.